Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. MC Mura here, and today we're gonna talk about how you can rush down your opponents in Street Fighter 6. They made a lot of changes to this game that makes Rushdown very different than it was in the previous games. Previously you only really had to worry about the opponent mashing their 3 or 4 frames or them taking your throws, and for the most part that was it. Right, you establish a throw game and frame trap game, a lot of stagger pressure, etc. That was very common in the previous games, not so much here. And that is because they made changes to the strike throw system, and there is now very little plus frames for most characters. Like a character like Luke only has crouching medium punch, and that is +1, so not a lot you can do out of that, and you have to kind of structure your offense around drive impact. You have to respect random drive impact and know how to beat it. If I'm going for a block string against this random Ryu, I have to know what I'm doing so that I don't autopilot my offense like that and I get punished. I have to pretty much know what I'm doing to be able to counter DI. This is very big in this game, right? And it's probably the hardest part when you're trying to learn a new character, is how to press an opponent while being safe to random drive impact on pressure. Dragon impact, that's kind of fun actually. Anyways, so I previously said that they made some changes to the strike throw system, and what they did is when a strike and throw collide at the same time, the strike wins. For example, here is Luke's drive rush forward heavy punch. This leaves Luke at a +1 advantage. If I try to throw Ryu afterwards, right, his jab wins. Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, Luke will get the throw, but here the jab wins. And this by nature made stagger pressure, like for example Luke doing crouching medium into walk up crouching medium, or like crouching medium into walk up throw. That type of pressure is now a little bit weaker in this game compared to Street Fighter 5. It's a lot less real, right? So now when I want to establish a throw game, when I want to throw someone, I have to convince them first not to mash their light attack, right? Not to mash their 4 frame. And if you want to do that, well, there are 2 ways. One of them is a little bit crazy that I don't love personally, and that is like offensive parries, right? Obviously this is like you just fishing for the perfect parry, and I mean that is a way to go about it. The issue with this is that on defense a lot of people will try to attack, so if I'm just crouching jabbing and then trying to go for a parry, I will get thrown, punish counter, so it's too risky. It's not something that people I have seen do so much. What people usually do is, well, they're gonna frame trap. A character like Luke, for example, his crouching medium punch leaves him at a +1 advantage. He got a 4 framer, so I can frame trap this Ryu, right? Do it enough time and maybe the Ryu will stop mashing, or they will not, because this is how people play. But another way that you can go around this is rapid chaining your lights, and this is very good. This is most of the offense in Street Fighter 6 is gonna be around rapid chaining if you don't want to spend meter, right? For example, this is Luke's crouching light punch, -2 on block, so typically if I try to crouching jab into throw, I get hit, but if I cancel it into another light, I'm pressing them in quick succession, I actually get to frame trap Ryu. Right? This is a very big part of the offense structure in Street Fighter 6. As a matter of fact, Luke also got another sequence that is excellent because it also covers walk back, and that is crouching jab into crouching light kick into crouching light punch, right? And here I will set Ryu to standing light punch, normal throw, drive impact, walk back. And you can see how good this sequence is, right? Because if I get the hit, I can just hit confirm, right? And get my combo, and if he happen to DI, I'm doing lights, and I can cancel them into DI to punish him. This is a very good sequence for a character like Luke. Now this does have some sort of an issue, and you might ask me, well Mura, what is it? And the issue is kind of straightforward really. If you happen to rely a lot all the time on rapid chaining your lights, after the second one there's not that much you can do, right? Like maybe it's like three lights to like jab, sandblaster, and that's it, right? After the second light, I don't really have a throw game here, right? I kind of have to walk a lot to throw Ryu, which means that he can then walk back and punish me, or just even like press his normal. After 2 jabs, the separation is far too big, and what a lot of people do at this point is either rely on their character ability to auto get in, like for example with Luke, maybe 2 jabs into like a charged heavy punch knuckle, and that leaves me at a +4 advantage. Near the corner, this will be plus obviously, so I can get the throw. I mean, that's a way, but risky, because most of the get in tools can be punished. But what most people will do is this: 2 jabs maybe, crouching medium punch, and then drive rush, right? And this is good. Against the typical characters, this is good, because obviously like you can go for a throw, you can go for like the overhead, you know what I mean, right? But this does have a big weakness, one that I haven't seen people really exploit that much, and that is OD reversals, especially like OD Shoryuken and OD rising uppercut, that sort of thing, right? Because unless you're going for a block string, like I just did, you're gonna get punished. So if I go for a crouching medium punch into like an overhead, Shoryuken is guaranteed. If I go for a crouching medium punch into like a crouching medium kick, Shoryuken, crouching medium punch into a whatever, standing heavy punch for example, all of that will get beat by the reversal. And what you need to know is that in this game, you can attack out of drive impact faster than you can block. So for example, if I'm using Luke and I did a crouching medium punch and then try to block, I can't. I get hit by the Shoryuken, right? Characters have very specific moves, typically heavies, that they can drive rush after and still be able to block reversals. So for example with Luke, if I do my standing heavy punch, now I can do my drive rush and be safe against an OD reversal from Ryu, right? And this means that if you're doing this a lot, right, you kinda have to go for the block string. Here I'll set Ryu to OD Shoryuken. I kinda have to go for the crouching jab block string. But this is not really bad at all, because this effectively bought you an extra turn, right? This jab leaves me at a +2 advantage, so even if the Ryu here will try to mash, I get to throw him, or I get to frame grab him, because this jab is now like legit. This jab is now like legit +2, so I get to frame trap with other stuff, right? And once you have again convinced the opponent enough that you're going for a block string, maybe then you can start introducing the overhead low, etc. Obviously a lot of this comes down to decision making, because the opponent kinda have to decide, alright, now I'm gonna OD reversal them because I know that what they're going for out of the drive rush isn't tight. But you know, that's why actually like extending your pressure like that with drive rush isn't very good. What you see a lot of people do is approach with drive rush. That's why just doing this in the neutral is much more effective than cancels, right? Because this does give you the ability to get in, have the plus frames, and not really have to deal with the whole uppercut that is guaranteed at the situation, right? And obviously once you get to knock them down, drive rush into normal, or like for example, once I get to knock this Ryu down, although it's kind of like a separate situation, but once for example I get to knock him down, now I get to like drive rush into crouching medium, and he kinda now have to eat my mix-up. A lot of the offense comes from drive rush on wake up, because now you kind of have a better mix, right? The situation on a block string, like let's say for example, because I just want to show you that this sort of a situation, even on a block string, is kind of good. Here we will set Ryu to do normal throw. 10 frames is a bit too much, let's make like 6 frames. Right? right? You still kind of get the shimmy and get to press the opponent. But typically most of the pressure in this game is gonna be knockdown pressure, because this is the easiest to set up like a drive rush sequence. I hope that I was able to show you like some of how the offense work in Street Fighter 6 and how you can really build like an offensive game plan. I hope that this was useful for you as an offender and on defense as well. And remember, like if the opponent is setting up like a whole lot of drive rush cancels, if you got DPs, they're very good for that. And that's why a lot of the top tier characters are characters with invincible reversals, or unless they have something totally busted about them like Marisa's damage or JB's counter, etc. If you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like or a comment, it helps the channel so much. We'll be leaving a link to the Patreon, Discord, Twitter and Twitch pages in the description. Thank you so much for watching and stay safe.